What's good, peoples? Just in the lab right now, doing some editing, working on that Bloodworld, that Kickstarter, which is coming soon. For those of y'all who don't know about Kickstarter, it's a fundraising platform essentially. So I'm asking for some dollars from y'all. Please help me out so that I can create more images for this Bloodworld, like art book. It's a narrative art book that's going to tell you more about the world of Bloodworld, and so that we can basically create the designs that I can use to develop it further into like a live real animation type of thing. I've already started to obviously done some images myself, pay certain artists, but I need more money so that I can reach out to even more acclaimed artists to do some real cool stuff. And I've really kind of got a list. So you'll see, man, it's dope. When I launch this Tuesday, October 4th, Tuesday, you're gonna see it, okay? And you'll see that I've done some really cool shit. It's like nothing, ain't nobody doing nothing like Bloodworld. Bloodworld is gonna be like the coolest animation you've seen in decades. I'm gonna be real with you, okay? Like, ain't nobody on this level because a lot of this stuff is retread, boring shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really coming with them sharp ideas and shit, and them sharp designs and sharp, them thoughts. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't mean to brag, but you're gonna see it when I'm talking about in Blood World. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of what I'm talking about here. Kool G Rap. Dante Ross's comment on my man Kool G Rap. Shout out to Kool G Rap and to Dante as well. But of course, Kool G Rap is a legendary rapper. Um, what do I think about it? It's interesting. This is kind of like the one thing actually it stuck out to me because it's rare that you'll see someone in the industry actually give an opinion on an artist, particularly one that could be construed as being negative, quote unquote, because it's just not good for business, right? Now Dante, I don't know how active he is in rap anymore, so maybe he just doesn't give a fuck, and that's kind of what it is. Because again, like I said, people in the industry they know these things, but they're not just going to put it out publicly. They're not going to talk about it because obviously it's bad for business. But the flip side of it is that it would be nice to hear more of what someone like a Dante Ross or even like when Steve Stout said that AZ was a little bit generic and caught a lot of flack for it, but he's right. I mean, it's not like if you listen to AZ long enough, you kind of understand that AZ does fall into certain traps in terms of how he makes his music that make him a little cliche. And this is a guy who's super talented, and you can tell, like, AZ could have done a little bit more, in terms of, making his music a certain type of way or whatever. Like, people in the industry know these things. They're not going to publicly just come out and say it. It's very rare. So for Dante to say it, I respect the balls, but I actually think he's right. I think what he's saying is facts in terms of comparing him to like a Rakim and KRS-One. Kool G Rap is a notch below. If we're being real, okay. Now that doesn't mean that Kool G Rap ain't that dude. Kool G Rap is one of the greatest rappers ever. I've said this before. In fact, let me see if I can get a nice little beat going as I say all this. But this on the run, man. Hey, Mister, this is it's brilliant, right? So we know that Coochie Rap got the joints, right? A couple, but there's not a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like compared to what you're going to be hearing from a Rakim or what you're going to be hearing from a KRS, it's not quite on that level. There's not as many, right? I mean, like let's go down the list of like, there's obviously this one that's dope, but would I say that this is on the level of Eric B's President? No, right? Partly because the beat's not on that level. You know what I'm saying? Um, then we talk about Microphone Fiend. Rakim's got. Does Coogee Rap have a record that's on that level? Men at Work, maybe. I'm not really. I wouldn't even say that, to be honest with you. Um, what else does Coogee Rap? Talk Like Sex, great song. Great, dope. On the level of like My Philosophy and The Bridge is Over, nah. Like, it's dope, it's close, I would say, sort of. But again, part of the problem is, and I stress this all the time in my videos, is that Coogee Rap, I think, suffered from mediocre production. A lot of the beats that he rapped on in his prime were not that good compared to him. And I think that that's a problem, right? That's why I stress all the time that, like, yo, if you are a serious rapper, if you're trying to rap for real, the first and most important thing you got to figure out is how can I get some dope ass beats? Period. That's like the first thing you should even be thinking about. You know what I'm saying? Because beats, beats, beats. People forget. You talk about the Rakims and KRS of the world. They had amazing beats, at least initially. They had a couple, like, at least coming out, right? Eric B's President is a phenomenal beat. It's like one of the greatest rap beats ever. You know what I'm saying? Like when it came out, it was some new shit. It wasn't even like there were beats like it prior. There weren't really. And then you have this guy who's doing the slow flow thing that nobody had done prior. It's like, the hell am I listening to, right? You got to be creative with the sauce, right? This is what makes and charismatic. This is what makes rap rap. It's not about syllables and shit like that. Like nobody gives a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like really, sure. If you can have, all that swag and sauce and incredible beats, and you have syllables on top of that, then yes, you are really on the upper echelon. But you can't just put syllables first and then tell me that you're a great rapper. No, you're missing the point. You're literally like forgetting everything else that makes rap important, and claiming that you got the skills or whatever. That shit don't fly, man. It works for hip hop casuals, those who pretend to know rap, and there's a lot of them. But people that really listen to rap, they know that that shit don't fly. You know what I'm saying? If Audio 2, Nick is chillin', Giz is chillin', what more can I say? Top billing. It's iller than most 99% of, well, first of all, hip hop records to begin with. But, like, it's iller than all that shit that a lot of people be trying to kick with no charisma, with shitty beats, right? This is rap, my man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't want to say this to knock Kool G Rap on any, in any way, because again, I'm a fan. I like Kool G Rap. I've been listening to Kool G Rap for a minute. The first time I heard Kool G Rap, I think, was the Anthem, funny enough, which is, again, probably one of his, more popular, like for those who know Kool G Rap, I'm imagining that's probably one of his, like, moments. But he murdered that shit, man. Like, I'm trying to see if I remember part of it. I sway the tech with tech and sway. Step away, wet and spray rap today. Who owed the depth to get swept away across the whole board like checker play. When I blaze your whole sector race. Wake up show for those who slept away. Niggas that meant to hit the trade that can pray. DJ Revolution spinning like lead from heck kind of after K. Tearing your whole neck away, flood up the street, blood we decorate, to the head of Jake would be investigated, some shit like. Just the way he did it, I know that was sloppy as hell for me, but that shit's nasty. Like, just that was like one of the best verses, period, on that entire song. So we know Kool G Rap got it. Like, he's very talented, but again, I'm saying that, like, you need to have multiple songs. Again, remember when I was making that list about greatest rappers, right? It's about catalog. And it's interesting that Dante, he talked about catalog, and people go, what do you mean? What about skills? Hip hop dweeb on the internet. What about skills? It's like, come on, man. It's about catalog. It's always been about catalog. You know what I'm saying? Like, the greatest rappers have greatest catalogs. That's the whole point. How many incredible, excellent songs do you have? The higher that number, the greater a rapper you are. It's really that simple. And what makes an excellent song is the beats, the vocal, the charisma, right? Now, I understand to a certain degree, this is kind of, it's unfair to someone like a Kaz and the Melle Mel and them who were rocking before there were records, right? And they didn't, almost like on some silent film shit, they didn't transition into the era of sound. It's kind of uncanny how that is to a certain degree. And they couldn't really transition into the record era. But hip hop transitioned into the record era in, like, what, the early 80s like by then, you know what I'm saying? And we've been in the record era since. So as much as I, respect Grandmaster Caz and Melle Mel, and they do have a point where they're like, yo, if you can't even rock live, like, are you really that great of a rapper? And the skills, and I get that. But again, hip hop culture, what has made it grow and explode worldwide is them damn records. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, what you can do in the studio is what makes you really super ill, right? If you don't have those songs that make people flip out, heads flip out. I'm not talking about casuals, because casuals don't care. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this with Coolio. Coolio was the biggest rapper, was one of the biggest rappers of the 90s, with all due respect to Coolio and RIP to him. But nobody was really checking for Coolio after a certain period of time. You know what I mean? Like he had like that Gangsta's Paradise was a massive record at the time, right? And like, casuals latched onto that shit. But like again, if you don't have like a staple, stranglehold on some level, a staple among the heads, you're not gonna last very long. You're not gonna go very far. You're not gonna be really remembered like that, like that. You know what I mean? And this is my whole point. Like, it's about the songs, the quality of the songs, right? Not like a shit ton of garbage songs either. Like I said, that's not what I mean by catalog. You know what I mean by catalog. How many superb songs have you made? That's catalog, right? And superb, obviously, we can say it in different ways. It's not doesn't just mean that it has to be necessarily lyrical, but it just has to be a memorable, dope song, really dope. Something that has replay value 10, 20 years after. Shorty Low, they know. That's a classic. It has a lot of replay value. It's not the most lyrical song ever, but does it have an amazing beat? Yes. Does it have vocal charisma? Absolutely. Right? This is just the most basic shit that you need. Does it, is he flow, does he have a flow on it? Yes. Rhythm. Does he have a rhythm? Yes. These are the three most basic things you need. So that song is a classic. We put number one for Shorty Low. Does Shorty Low have any other records besides that? I don't think so. I don't know. I've not heard any other records that he had that was like on that level. Now, you look at someone like Kool G Rap. Kool G Rap talk like sex, right? Rikers Island, On the Run, right? Fast Life with Nas. Okay, five. And it's now starting to get a little like, mm, you could say Men at Work, I guess. Ill Street Blues. Okay, but again, I like those songs. I think they're fantastic songs in their own right, but they're not Eric B's President dope. They're not microphone fiend dope. That's for sure. And again, that's kind of what Dante Ross I think is getting at, right? So, long story short, I agree with Dante Ross. How do y'all feel? Do you prefer Kool G Rap to Rakim and KRS? I don't personally. I would, if it's me, I would Rakim first. If someone was like, "Yo, you got to see somebody live of these three," I'm obviously seeing Rakim first, then KRS, and then Kool G Rap. And I love all three. Like I said, it's no disrespect to any of those guys. I think those three brothers are fantastic. But I get it. You know what I mean? Anyway, we'll be talking to y'all soon. Make sure you sign up for that Bloodworld, man. Sign up. I got more shit coming. It's going to be fire. All right? Love y'all. Peace.